Greetings, calculus students. Here's the second half of the notes on P3 and P4 where we focus on circles. Find equations, sketch graphs of circles. Well, I'm sure you remember the distance formula. We just talked about it. Square root of x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2 squared. And we're going to use this to develop the equation for circles. Because we're going to let one of the points, x1 and y1, be just any old point on the circle. And let the other point, x2, y2, be the point hk, the center of the circle. Let's see how this works. Okay? The distance from all points in the circle to the center is constant. That's what makes a circle. That's a geometric definition. And this distance is called the, you know it, that's right, the radius. Radius. And that's going to be the point of our approach here. Because we can take the radius now as the distance from any point in the circle to the center, xy to hk, and let's plug that into the distance formula. So the radius r equals the square root of x1 minus x2, well in this case x minus h squared, plus y1 minus y2, so that's y minus k squared, and then square both sides. And that's your standard form for the circle. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where of course r equals the radius, and hk is the center of the circle. And we can use the right equations of circles, and let's try that on our next page here. Find the equation of the circle. The points given are the endpoints of the diameter. So from here to here, that's a diameter. Well, the diameter, we can use the distance formula here, 5 minus a minus 1 squared plus 5 minus a minus 3 squared, and try out the distance formula on this. Get the square root of 6 squared plus 8 squared, square root of 36 and 64, square root of 100, that's 10. So that means the radius is half the diameter, so that's equal to 5. Now we just need the center. Any ideas? Sure, it's the midpoint of the diameter. Midpoint of the diameter. And we have, from up here, that the 2 points were 5, 5, and negative 1, negative 3. And so, the midpoint then, the center, is going to be at 5 plus negative 1 divided by 2, coming up with the average of the x-coordinates, 5 plus negative 3 divided by 2, the average of the y-coordinates, and you get 2 comma 1. So there's your center. Now you've got both center and radius, so you can write the equation of the circle. The standard form is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So you get x minus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 5 squared. So that's x minus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 25. And you can leave it like that. You don't have to expand it out. In fact, this way is communicates more ideas to people that look at the equation. Now, note that we had to actually have the endpoints of the diameter on this one. If I just gave you any 2 points on the circle, that wouldn't quite work out so well. You'd need a third point on the circle then to determine the whole equation of the circle. Because you can imagine there's a lot of different circles that could go through just those 2 points. Okay, now we're going to find the center radius of the circle from this equation. You have to complete the square in both variables. So we separate the variables. Let's put the x squareds in one group, plus blank, plus, and do the y squareds in another group, y squared plus negative 10y plus blank equals, and then we've got blankety blank on the other side, right? We're going to have to, we we still have the 2 there from originally. 2 plus, we're going to get a blank from this side, from completing the square in the blue and the x's, and we're going to have to complete the square in the y's too. So to complete the square in the x's, we're going to need half of 6, which is 3, and 3 squared is 9. So that's why we're going to add 9 to both sides there. To complete the square in the y's, we've got to take half of negative 10, that's negative 5, square that. Negative 5 squared is 25. So we've got to add 25 to both sides. Okay, so now what have we got? In the x's, x squared plus 6x plus 9, because you complete the square properly, that should be x plus 3 quantity squared, plus, and in the y's, you got y minus 5 quantity squared, equals, and then your other side comes up to 36. Now to finish up, to get it precisely in standard form, you should write both as subtractions. So x minus 3 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 6 squared, putting the center at negative 3, 5, and the radius equal to 6. All right, flange out.